Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. You know, it has been a hot minute since we've done a spectating episode here on the channel, and today's goal, I really want to highlight on the fundamental concept of making sure that you see different pathways and decision making while you're playing. So going back to the old format of the spectating series, what we're going to do is once we get eliminated, we're going to watch to the very end. But at the very start, I'll try to highlight as many different pathways and talk through and commentate over my own gameplay, but over the feel of the lobby. So we're going to pass it to our teammate here. Oh, we're going hot. Okay, so, I mean, maybe we'll spectate a little bit early here. Let's see what happens. So, essentially what you want to do always is kind of see the flow of the lobby. Gold is kind of where everyone's kind of playing at. Platinum, silver. So, when we look at here, we say, okay, we're going to contest. We see two teams over there. Looking around your surroundings is always very, very important. Remember as well, there's going to be a lot of commentary as well that we have here. Landing near your teammate's going to be key. We only have really one pathway. Essentially, you got to pretty much fight, and that's really going to be it. You want to drop where you believe there are guns. We found guns in here. We're pretty much ready to fight. Our teammate doesn't look very ready, which is okay. I'm going to port right underneath them. I'm going to come right up, see if I can find him. Looks like they ported away. They're on the stairs. I'm going to go help them. Already knocked one. That's a pretty good start right now. We have a wide swing with them here. Knocked. Let's wait for the next one. We'll bait for a res here. There it is. They could have hit more with the wingman there. That would have been it. I'm going to bait them up. There it is. So the bait with the res. The reason why I took the port up right away, especially this is a strong counter to alter. Where did the person go? Did they go up? I'm resing, sorry. Did you drop down? All right, coming for them. So the reason why I went up, once you take the port, this is the downside of Alter's port, is that once you're on the other side of it, it's pretty easy to kind of bait out because you know exactly where they're at, which is, I think, probably why they waited. Now, we know there's teams nearby. This is where you start thinking of different pathways, right? We have the fight here. We know there's two teams overlooked. There's probably a team located here. I didn't get to take a look at the rest of the map because then we're pretty much focused in front of us. But now you start to think of pathways. This is the part when it comes to rank after the hot drop where people start to freeze and pause and they have no idea what to do and what the outcome of the potential fight can be. But I'm telling you what the potential is. Now what we got to do is loot as much as possible. We know there might be one person over here, a team. So you want to do is pretty much take height and look right away, which we didn't do. So that's really important to kind of start to take note and say, okay, what do we see that's looted? Who's around us? What are the possibilities and what could actually go wrong? It doesn't look like anything's looted here, so we're okay. So essentially what we need to do is pretty much just move forward. I think everyone, let's pick that up just in case, just so we have a second gun just while we're moving over here. But it looks like we're okay. We have our teammates. You want to play near your teammates best you can. If they aren't healed up, let's go ahead and drop some syringes. This was looted. Careful, it's looted over here. So now we know that it was looted. That gives us information. Oh shoot, I might be dead. For some reason they ran right by us? Not sure what that's about. We'll nade it out though. Alright, doing a little bit of damage. I don't know why they ran past without any information essentially, but they did. And now we have one person that's a little further away. We don't necessarily need to go for an armor swap. Other squad. This is a pathway. We could stay and fight or we can just leave. Right now, we know that somebody's nearby, so opting just to get a different position to be near my teammate because we know that somebody's on the other side. Now, I could have stayed there as well. That was another option. So because I didn't stay, that's probably the downside here. I'm going to try to go back, and I wasted time, right? Low. Knocked. Oh, come on. There we go. Go for the armor swap, and then we can rest. The other team's a little far away. I honestly probably could have stayed, right? This is where we talk about pathways and decision-making. It's a little hard whenever you are split, but committing one way or the other and figuring out what the situation is, that's an armor swap and a half. Shoot, okay. Let's see what we can do here. They did get their, they finished them. Grab their stuff, I guess. We probably just need to leave. This is definitely taking a little long. All right, let's go res this way. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Use the port to get a little distance. Probably not going to do a whole lot. Come on! I have to bat. We are kill leader. We did overstay our welcome for sure. That's when you can kind of feel out. By the way, you say, okay, have we overstayed our welcome? I'm gonna craft you guys. Give me a second. And you can always feel that out. That's always a tip that everyone keeps asking consistently. When do you know when to leave a fight? Well, that changes depending on the tier of the lobby and how good the lobby's playing out, right? That's why I backed up and tried to assess. One person was in there. We know that they got a knock. So it's like, okay, how can you gauge and how can you tell? I'm going to create a fallback just in case they're here. And then we'll go down. Craft from right here. It was looted here, but I'm assuming based on the shots, the most likely thing that's going to happen is that they probably would have already ran in. If they're still hovering here, probably not very good. Maybe. It's the only thing we can guess, right? You have to make your best guess. Now, you don't mean to do it as like an insult, but you have to guess, okay, can I take this fight? Am I confident here? Am I not confident here? What are the possibilities? And that's what you're trying to feel out. Now we got the fallback. Technically, we got the fallback to go right back up there. There's that plus side there. This is not playing out too bad. Remember the team that was probably there rotated from Overlook or rotated probably from Harvester's side, depending where they landed. Okay, well our position is revealed, so I'm gonna try to work our way this way. Because they know that we rezzed. Pathways, decisions. You could either go straight through Monument and contest. We can rotate this way, go through Landslide. We can go through Fragment, right? Now, if we decided to stay, I could have tried to fight too. Try to think of every decision that you make as like a branch, but also what kind of utility did you have? I use grenades in certain scenarios, and I don't always use grenades, but in that scenario I did. Are they okay? Are they just pushing through? Also, sometimes the decision you make, is heavily influenced by what your teammates are doing. It looks like they're going straight in. I would prefer to go Landslide, but if they go that way, then we can go that way. That also is a possibility. And they're just hitting every single... Ooh, whoa, okay. Just getting in everywhere here. If my teammates are confident, we'll just go right back in. I don't think it's the best idea because we still need resources. I don't have the best gun. I'm using Alternator Mastiff, but oh, there they go. That's okay. So we can cover. Oh, hello. What is over there too? Okay, okay, okay. Relax, relax. I think it's two teams. Why would somebody be all the way isolated? And those are questions you have to answer quick. Either that's a different team or they're extremely isolated from their teammates. Based on the shots, that's another team that we can guess. We did hover over with them, but then there's no reason to stay and fight. We could just go try to craft them as best we can. That's probably our best play right now. Team fighting behind us. Shoot, right here. Now, this is greedy. Oh, shoot. I'm dead. The greed got to me. All right, that's my bad. And you know, like, okay, there's a pathway. Do I shoot the Valkyrie or do I rotate? You know, like, if I call it beforehand before it happens, it's like, is it greedy? The answer is yes, it was definitely greedy, and you call it beforehand. But people get mad. It's like, why was there somebody there? You kind of already know in your heart whether it was a good decision or a bad decision, right? I know it was a bad decision, but sometimes you kind of want to give into your inner calling and say, I'm going to do it. Yes, do it. Do it. Do it. The dark side influences you. And so you just kind of just take the bait and you just kind of go for it, right? Realistically, I did ping Landslide. They could res staging. It's not the end of the world. We had kill leader. Oh no, I think that's it. No, no conduit, no. And I could have been here with them. Oh, good try, good try. And we're gonna watch this out. That wasn't bad. I mean, we contested. We got there right off the drop. It is what it is. It's not a bad thing. Things happen, you know. We got some points. Now, I shouldn't have shot either. That was me. I gave into my inner callings there, but also you kind of look and say, okay, where is the decision making? What could you have done? When you VOD review, this is the advice I want to give. When we're spectating, you can see the decision making. So like this team has a few options at their disposal, right? They could, now the information, they could rotate through the north side, right? They can go here and go right here, or they can go through Harvester side and kind of clear their backs, and they have an option A or B here, or they can go all the way around, right? Now, this one is more likely to run into a team since we know that there was a team over there, right? This is probably less likely to run into teams since most of the action is happening on the north side. Or, I mean, what you could always do is just kind of wait things out and let the zone do its work. I always say there's not necessarily ever a bad decision. And so if you're watching this, there's not a bad decision. There's just different alternatives in what you do within them. Now, let's say, for example, I managed to knock the Valkyrie and I got more loot and I got the kill and managed to rotate away. It was a decision, but as you start to build up your decisions of what the likely outcome of that scenario is, you start to develop the game sense, and everyone asks, how do I improve my game sense? Well, this is how you do it. You start saying, every time I've shot on somebody rotating, running, I knew without a shadow of a doubt they were going to get blasted, or I was going to get third-partied. You start to infer what a situation is and how that outcome was actually going to happen. And I promise you, from watching just this video and gameplay, you'll start to have better decision-making, and you'll benefit so much from it, I promise you. So they're going for this side. They got the materials. They have blue armor. So if you're not getting into a whole lot of fights, try to play those harvesters. Get those materials, because now when you're on purples, at least you're on better equal standing, right? Use your passive abilities. I know when I'm playing an altar, just an example, when I run into an area and I see a lot of death boxes, I know that a lot of fighting happened here, meaning that there's probably one team that's on top and they're definitely playing a lot more confidently right now. So that's what you're trying to feel out and trying to say, what can I do and what are my options available to me? All right, so they have a good opportunity. Red. What does red tell you? Red tells you right away that this team has been fighting for a little bit. So that team has been there. They're going to be confident to fight. So if you get cracked, you know there's one red and one purple. Now, if they had a lifeline, then it's possible that it could be one red and the rest could be blue. But now you know that this team is a fighting team. And you need to get into zone. So you have several options. They could push forward on this fight and continue engaging, or they could rotate out. They have information. They have gotten a crack. They're using utility. Utility should be used to gate a team out or maintain pressure. Now that ult definitely put some pressure and pushed them further into the choke that way. But now they have a split decision to make here. Do we go left or do we go right? Now the thing that usually trips up people is not making a decision at all and just kind of waiting too long. It's always better to kind of act on that pressure and move up. So they're deciding to opt for that pressure. Now what's going to end up happening is that they're going to, well, there goes the commit. So now this fight, they either clean it up or they rotate and leave right away. They have a split decision. They've evened the playing field. Now they have a 2v2, but they've knocked the lifeline, which means that there has a higher chance of them surviving this. So all they got to do is pretty much push forward. They have gold, which is great. Now, the hard part is when people have a 3v2, the hesitation here is what causes teams to make a lot of mistakes, right? At this point, hesitating and saying, okay, we're not pushing through. Now that team is pushing forward and getting away. If they just shove as a unit, they can probably get them out and clear their backs just in case a third party happens, right? Because what happens if they get third partied right now because there's 30 seconds on the clock and we say here there's a team rotating this way, which is viable to happen, and then the duo comes back in thirds, right? Always try to think 2 steps ahead and think of how this could actually play out. Even if you run into the most unwanted scenario, what could possibly happen in X, Y, and Z scenario? Try to play those out and try to always think as if you're playing chess, because Apex Legends is a pretty complex battle royale, in my opinion, with abilities and a lot of ways to get out of a situation. It's not linear. There's a lot of different ways in which you can always pursue an outcome. So when you think of it that way, I promise you, when you VOD review, again, this is my promise to you, that it's going to feel a lot more fluid and a lot better for you in the end. Now let's say here we got 7 squads. They know that that duo is possibly here. They know that because the zone is closing, when the zone is closing, there's more likely a scenario that you're going to be thirded or somebody's going to rotate late. So that's what, actually, it's funny that we're saying this, because that's what the lifeline is exactly calling, but they've already started to instigate the other team in the back. So the team that's in zone is less likely to push forward because they have good positioning, but now they're very split on what's occurring here. They don't know if this is a rat, they don't know if it's a duo, they don't know if it's a trio. So now with having that split teammate and you say, okay, well, where are they positioning and what are they doing? You have somebody in a whole different area. It looks like this might be that duo team, that Ash team. And either that rat is moving forward, but now the other team is seeing this and it might give them, there it is, actually giving the confidence to move forward. It's funny that we're talking about this and we talk about the flow, but now you have two teams right in front of you. You got the rat that's running inside. That's about to get eliminated. Should be, are they a rat? And it looks like that Ash is causing a lot of trouble. Let's take a look at the different POV here. Because now that this chaos is happening, those other teammates and opponents are going to start to work their way through. It looks like the Ash did knock one of them. So the other team kind of backed up, and now they see the fighting, they're more inclined to come in, right? This would have been really bad. Like, I'll give an example. It would have been really, really bad if that Ash also knocked one of them, because now it would have incentivized the other team to push forward. So at least they have information. They know that there's a duo squad that exists out there, potentially, and the duo squad that just got away. That's what the information you have. The first thing that most people make the mistake of doing is they don't look at the top of rooftops and buildings. They're not looking around for information of what's happening. And because there's a delay, now they know that there's the team there and they're coexisting, right? If they shove them, there's another team that might push them. The higher tier the lobby is, the more difficult the lobby, the less room you have for error and where you can reposition and move away. Oh, that Kraber is always a little scary. Oh, Kraber shot back. Now, they can push forward on this. They do have damage, but the downside of doing this is they have to be very fast and efficient, or else a third party or that duo team is going to come right back. Grenades are very helpful, but the downside is sometimes they can delay a little bit of the fight. Usually you find that to try to create an opening, but they technically already did the damage, so they should have already shoved in. And there it is. See how that delay right there? I give the example of the grenade. Try to make sure your resources are not delaying the fight, but purposely buying the time that you need or don't need, depending on the scenario. I'm trying to give as many different pathways as possible. Because what happened, the grenade was there, and you got on the roof, and then they managed to get the bat in time. Well, then that causes a delay in your own fight, and you have the risk of being third-partied. Now, if you can't get the opening, but they had the opening, the Kraber was already there, essentially you could just move right in. A lot of damage. Holy, very nice. Now, I mean, they're controlling this lobby at this point. That's a good grenade to maintain pressure. And you don't want to run out of grenades either. Let's see if that grenade... I don't think the grenade's going to be able to do a whole lot, unfortunately. Which is fair. I mean, they got a knock, but they don't have mobility, which is also trying to gauge the power of your team and what you have the capability of doing, and of course, what you don't have the capability of doing. This is all pretty interesting. So they're zipping across. They do have an angle. Could definitely gas this up. Remember, utility, especially when you're playing a controller legend, is to either slow down a fight or to box people in, is what I like the power of those type of legends. Because you can use Caustic in these legends offensively. I mean, because now they've created more space, right? And if somebody was trying to push offensively on them, they have their ability. Now, this Caustic is making a pretty bold play. They're by themselves, but they do have armor advantage. The downside is it looks like they're kind of stuck between two. They know the teams are kind of in front. They go for the armor swap. Pretty good play. It was a little risky going in by themselves, but they definitely had that armor advantage, because if they did go down there, then that kind of loses a lot of their holding. They seem like they have a lot of space to control, which is a really positive. I want to highlight the positives here is that they're not just necessarily running in just for the sake of it. It's making sure that you have information of where you're at. And another, let's just keep watching the lifeline, just get information here, because they're popping off of the Kraber. They're not necessarily just pushing things for the sake of pushing. They're getting knocks here, but they also have zone. Remember where you're positioned in zone, because zone is going to close in 15 seconds. They could push the team on the left, but then the team in the building is going to push them, or they could push the team on the right, and the same thing's going to happen. And that doesn't mean you don't want to capitalize on it, but that zone 5 definitely does hurt, and they also need to make sure to be watching their backs as well. So making an informed decision of why you're going to push. What's the justification? If I do this, what will I do? Right? And sometimes a lot of teams, they don't have the justification behind it to say what they're going to do. But now they have a fantastic gate. The team on the right has to also heal up, and the team on the left has to heal up. But the big danger here is to make sure they don't get sandwiched, right? Most likely the scenario is that behind them or underneath is probably a rat, and they have the team that's on the right and on the left. The worst thing that could possibly happen here is that they get flanked, or they become the meat of the sandwich, essentially. And they don't need that for that to happen. Which I think one of them is underneath. There they go. They see them underneath. As long as they don't get too split, they pretty much have this game. They have the resources. They have the better guns. They have the better armor. They just need for the other two to pretty much battle it out and make the mistakes, and there they go. So I think one of them died to ring, like we had said. So that's probably the rat, and now they have most of the teams in front. Let's see what the Lifeline is able to do. Lifeline is playing it smart by not being the first one in, because then get the benefit of their utility to res, which is also very powerful. The team is underneath, which means that team underneath is going to run into each other, and all they need for them to do, which just happened, is for them to sandwich, and now you have a full team. It looks like they're resing underneath, so they have an opportunity to get a play off this from the looks of it. I heard a res, I'm pretty sure. Now, if they get that open now they need to just go on it. At this point, they have the massive advantage. They should just go on it, and that should be it. I think this is a duo squad. I don't even think it's a full trio, and that's just pretty much the one right there. Patience in knowing why you do certain things. I think it's just one person. Yep, it's one person. That's it. GG's, pretty sure. It's over. All right, so let's go again. We're going to go one more round, and we're going to give as many tips of the theme of how many different ways a scenario can happen. Remember, those windows of opportunity disappear very, very quickly. So maybe they only exist for like 1 second, or they exist for 30 seconds. It really depends, but that window of opportunity can be really cut short. Because you could also say, what if those guys just shoved outside a zone? Now, the downside of that is you got to weigh risk versus reward. It can be a very high risk just to kind of go out there and go for that play and then lose it, right? You don't want to go for that either. Because then you VOD review and say, well, we should just waited, we had zone. But if you go in and you have a well-coordinated team and you're talking in comms, let's kill this team because they seem like they're the bigger threat, and then we'll back up and reposition. You can definitely do that as well. I'm just trying not to feel like you're deterred or forced to play a certain way, but you play to your team's strengths and what you want to do together. Instead of, because the idea is you want to have fun too. So if you have more fun with pushing, but just understand what those repercussions, the risk of reward versus playing patient, maybe it's not the ideal way you want to play, but again, what are you playing for, and what is your intention, and what is your overall goal at the end of the day? So as you go into the next round here, we're going to focus on that same theme. right? So the first one we had a very hot drop. We look around and, you know, we pretty much got pushed by everybody. And our teammates wanted to go fight again, so we went ahead and fought with them. But then I got greedy too. I made a mistake. I should not have shot that Valkyrie, but I did. And so I pay for my own repercussions and my own mistakes, right? We've gone up a few points. Maybe this round will go down. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're learning and improving, that's the beauty behind it. That's what excites me most about Apex. That's why I love the Spectating series so much, because we usually get on a theme and we talk about it. It's been a hot minute, and I really hope that this video does pretty well, because to be honest, I mean, I'm fired up. I'm pumped. It kind of reminds me of why I enjoy the game so much, or even making this educational content. Okay, so with the pathway here, let's take a look. We got 3 here. Looks like we have 1 there. So that's about 4 teams. Nobody's landing over there. Nobody's going to be over on this PO, I'm pretty sure. Most of them are landing on north 3, probably about 2 there, or maybe 3 over there. I know there's 1 right there, and 1's contesting us. So we're going to take height right here. I'm going to take the height side. I'm going to let them take this so they get more of the loot. Regardless of what it is, I'm going to let them have it so they feel more confident. Pretty sure I can get my own loot on my own end, so I'm not too worried. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. I need more loot. But I want my teammates to be confident. I'm pretty sure I can rock with whatever I got, essentially. I'm not too worried. As long as they don't take the zip up, I have a little bit of time. Not a whole lot. There it is. All right, now let's look. Oh, man, our team went down. There's 1 knock. Very nice. Another crack. I have to push on this. I know to get the lifeline, but I'm making the bold decision just to kind of go for this because I've already got... Oh, shoot, what the heck? I might be dead. I might be dead. What? Hold on. Recharging shield. I'm gonna leave her down here by herself. She comes up, I'll have the advantage. There we go. Very nice. Holy, that was actually crazy. I was kind of hard throwing there for a minute. I'm not going to lie. I did not anticipate the lifeline was going to be so close, but it is what it is. And then we kind of made our play based off of it. Even if that port ran out, the idea was that she was down below. So if she was down below, the benefit of that would have been, hey, at least we don't have to worry about her anymore. So Harvester had 1 team, so we're going to look that way. I know there was no team in Thermal. I'm not really worried about it, and neither I'm worried about Mirage Voyage. I'm more worried about Harvester side, so I need to look at that pretty much immediately, making sure I know what's over there. But yeah, so the idea was that I leave the lifeline down below and I don't have anything to worry about. I'm actually going to grab this and I'm going to switch back to this. I'm going to grab that and then I'm pretty much done. I'm good. I want to be as fast and efficient as possible when it comes to looting. Could have been a little cleaner. Really? Somewhere. Oh yeah, look at that. From landslide. I guess that kind of makes sense. See if I can catch them. Oh my god, I did. Stolen. Look at that. Oh, hello. Why are you over there? I did not look that way. The goal is to just stabilize and just survive right now. Not take too much damage. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Alright, because they're trying to get me down because they probably calmed that I was low. Now, crossing out is a little risky here, but I'm going to keep doing it anyways. Okay, there's another team over there, it looks like. Backing up for a smidgen. Alright, see here. Because we know there's a shot that way, there's probably still a team backing up this way. This is a fork in the road. Do you reposition? Do you keep fighting? What do you do? Well, because we're with randoms, I guess we can... What we're going to do is I'm going to opt to play this way and take an angle and then just pray that the team in the back does not actually push us, which is kind of a bold decision considering all things considered. Alright, well, we're just going to push forward because she got the crack. I really hope that Harvester team doesn't push us. I don't know if they're still there. I'm going to throw that nade and see... Throw a little further and see if we get past it. Throw in a little further, keep getting past. Throw another nade, screw it, just keep going. Wow, they really didn't stay, huh? That's not what I expected. Huh, okay. Fair. That really isn't what I expected. I expected them more to stay. Very nice. Go for the bat. Now, we're just opting to just keep pushing forward, which is fine. I'm totally with it at the moment, to be honest. I'll create a fallback over here just in case. I don't have the most heavy, but enough to pretty much fight. And yeah, I mean, hey, we're up points. I mean, not can do too much harm. We need resources more than anything. We have zone. It's most likely, this is where you start coming up with a game plan to say, okay, what are the best place to play? Probably countdown, skyhook. If it does pull monument side, you start to go monument. But then you start making a decision. When you're playing with randoms, not necessarily as easy, but I mean, here we are, right? I want to go countdown side. I think countdown is probably the better play just to hold for now. Even if there is a team there, then we fight for it. I just need resources. They're going that way. Okay, well, we'll just play together. Let's go together, go together, go together. They're probably thinking to cut them off, but I think they probably went this way if I were my best guess. 13 squads remaining. This is where you start asking yourself the question. Most of the lobbies kind of died out. They're going for resources. That's perfectly fine. Probably a team skyhook. Most of them are probably going to work from right to left. We would have gotten thirded in the back. There, they're over here too. Okay, let's go there. Let's flank around. Let's go back this way. Go back this way. We could push forward, but there's a team on the back. I don't think he's going to get out. That's unfortunate. Oh, shoot. What the heck?
Our squad mate fell. Cut down an enemy. Found by my hand.
I'm going to go on hide up here. Crafting. Crafting the banner. Might be able to just ego res here. Ego res. Alright. I need heavy. There's no heavy. Heavy. No! Cracked on me. I knocked one. I was a little ego just to play up there, but it is what it is. I stuck it. I thought I could land my second PK shot. I missed. She's flushed up there, but she's probably running. Oh, nice, nice, nice. You might be able to craft me, too. I don't know if you guys have used this crafter. Might not be able to res here, but... I mean, we held. We did what we could. I really thought I could have landed the second PK shot. What did we head for? I probably should have looked down the zip beforehand. See, that's where you make the decision. 99. Oh, man, we were both like just 1-1 right there. That's crazy. They got this. They got this. They got this. They win these. Ooh, let's go, lifeline. Let's go, lifeline. No. I think it's a 1v1. I think they got this. They got this. Now, the downside is that this fight is taking a long time, so... Take a look at what they end up doing. Because they could clean up or they could rotate. They could rotate to the far left. Maybe fly past them. Oh, they could deliver me. That's true. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I didn't even realize I got the banner. Oh, nice. They got the bleed out. From who? Thank you, sir. Oh, shoot. Okay, a little tricky. I'm gonna see if I can see it. I'll run over and just try to help best I can. We'll get gated right here, but this is gonna be our play to play edge. If it's just one more person, we just go together. That's what I'm guessing it is. If they knocked him out of the sky, you know? I'm coming over just in case the solo did run this way. I don't think they would have. But just got to stick together regardless. Oh, there they are. Look at that. Alright, we're going to make a port right here. Is one. Oh, shoot. Go for the arm slot. Quick, quick, quick. There we go. Woo! Let's go. Very nice. I heard something. Guess I'm crazy. That was pretty brutal. But we went for the swap on the ground. just for a quick reset. I have way too many medkits. Port actually, I'm glad he took the port back up, to be honest. That's the downside about altar port is that it's pretty predictable once you hear them. But if your enemy takes it, that's a big benefit too. Alright, like I said, our best play is this and then work our way in afterwards. Nobody should be there, and the reason why I say that as a good tip is because, I mean, they would have already thirded us. So instead of taking the zip, I'm going to altar port right underneath. I'll put an altar port just so we zip right up. Go right here. A little faster. Alright, if we're not pushed, let's see where it pulls. That's not bad. I mean, we just play skyhook side. There's several different ways. Okay, here's a pathway. You go here, you're most likely going to be choked. You go all the way around. We have to leave right now and go all the way this way. This is probably the best bet so we can get the lay of the land, right? And kind of take a look. And let's say there's like 3 teams here for some reason, right? Now, either they're all postured up and holding, meaning postured up, meaning like just holding aggro, or they're not. And right now they're not. So that gives us information that we can pretty much move up without any consequence. And if they're not fighting, it means they're either rotating or they're holding a building. And if they're not poking, that means they're not really fighting for anything yet. So we'll just move forward. It's kind of a dub right there. Now, unless they're ratting in a building, that's kind of unfortunate. It's good to check angles. Because, I mean, there could be the possibility that we move forward and then just get blasted for free, right? But your goal is to always look for information. Okay, there's smoke. That's information. I'm trying to... There, right there. Oh, they finished. Taking shots so there now just to get a little nervous, you know? Now that team is either very confident they'll start moving towards us, or I guess I would prefer to be in the center. See if I can get them to move. Because that's probably what they would be doing, right? Yeah, looks like they're moving. We just need to know where the last team is, too. So technically, we could engage with them, but I'm kind of inclined to say the last team is probably a duo or a rat. I don't know that for sure because we have question mark, and I didn't really pay attention beforehand. The only reason I'm saying that is because they probably would have already moved up on that angle, and we have not seen anybody our side. Either they're going to rotate on our side as a 3-stack, or if they heard the fighting, then they would have already been here. If they were already here, they would have already shot at them. Either they're rotating like this way, they're going this way, or something along those lines happening, or they're somewhere ratting around these buildings. I don't know the answer of which one, but that's pretty much how you can deduce it and say, okay, what's going to happen, right? And we've already got a lot of points here, so that's a positive. And essentially, we're positive for the day. And hopefully, as you're watching this, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, because I'm sure to the end here. I'll grab, there you go. Just to fill out for 8. Don't really need it, but... Oh, wow. Let's take center. Let's go over here. So, we want to hold a building. Did they just... Somebody died to ring? Yeah, like I said, they're probably rotating. They just ended up late. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm saying center is because I would like to start poking at them. But it's not always ideal. You could always hold this building here. You can work your way in this way. I'm going to create a fallback at the top of this. They're already here, then I'm dead. Nope, okay. Yoink. Unless they moved outside his zone. Oh, they're over here. Let's go there. Or this building. We have to beat them. And if I get shot, then I get shot. I can use my fallback. But they're moving in late, too. Don't need anything. I'll take the grenade. The idea now is just to pretty much beat them in here. Oh, that scared me. Is that a... What is that? Was that a Moby? No. Oh, I got distracted. That's bad. Okay, now I look this way. So now we can have a little bit of power here. Unless it's a rat. And they were fighting outside his zone this way. Maybe they had a nasty fight. I'm surprised they're not really contesting us for the spot, to be honest. We have a zip, which is good. Now we just gotta wait. I saw, there he is. That's not a Revenant. So they got a Revenant bang. And they have a Loba. Alright, that's some information. Now we just gotta wait for the opportunity to get a good crack and to move on it. Oh, dude. And I have a mag too now. It's unfortunate. He's too far away for me to get all the way over to him quick enough. I could take here's an option that would be really dumb. I could take port and isolate that guy out right there. I had to be in comms. It would have had to happen like right away. Like I said, opportunities, right? Oh shoot. Pop a Phoenix. And then go back up. Like I had a pretty good angle. Port right underneath. I do still just want to hold the roof. They have multiple angles on us. Okay, well, now he had to leave his spot, but now we have to push into them, which is not good. Can he still see me here? I'm kind of gambling if they can, to be honest. I've done so much damage, but it's hard to move in. I mean, ideally, I just need to push. Oh, what the heck? There's so much damage. I just need to move forward. I should have thrown a grenade. I had a grenade too. I could have thrown a nasty nade up there. I don't know if that'll hit. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm down coming. Well, that'll... It's not... I mean, we don't have to push. I guess that's fine. That kind of works. I can get a knock. There's a knock. Go, 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 go. I got a knock. Okay, let's bait him back. Let's see if he comes through. And I think there's the game. GG is very nice. So I went to the port initially because I was just pretty much baiting if like they would actually do it or not. They either take it or they focus on me, and it gave the lifeline the ability to kind of move forward. A little bit of fun there. GG's, good game, good game. There's so much damage that I couldn't move much sooner. And you know, that's the beauty of like the Ash porting. I did not consider that variable, which is why when you Yvonne, you're like, you could have taken the height up there. I was actually just going to shove in. That was fantastic. That was great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was educational. The theme, again, I know we're spectating, but again, it was to learn the theme of multiple decision making. And like you saw it there at the end. I think that was a beautiful example. Guys, I appreciate all of you guys for being here. And if you support the channel, Master Altar Guide coming out either Thursday or Friday, depending how much time we put in. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, everybody.